guys, welcome back. We are in the kind of final stretch for Hadrien Cormier's kennel. We are going to be decorating kind of the only real public space here because I did want him to be able to sell trained dogs if he could. Like, I'm hoping that he actually trains them. That's what I mean by that. We obviously can sell them in the Sims. I'm glossing over. But yeah, so there's a little bit of a public space. That's also where he's going to keep their food. Yeah, nothing fancy. There's a little storeroom. I've got the bird cage because I figured if he's training hunting dogs, but they're like birding dogs, they need to have exposure to that. So that's why I decided a bird was a good idea. Because I don't think he really likes birds, but he's training hunting dogs, so that's important. And yeah, so this is also, besides food, it's also kind of where he keeps like medicines and whatever he needs to help take care of the dogs. It's all going to be right there. Tools to help take care of the kennel. All the things. All of the things. I can't believe how long I spent on this. I used to do this all the time too, but then I was like, okay, I don't really have the time. And now I'm like, I don't care if I don't have the time. I'm gonna... In the time spent on this one lot, I could have recorded like 5 videos. Don't care. Don't care. It's beautiful. And it's also so very, very, very on brand for me. I was so happy about this banner, by the way. So happy, because it's like yellows, but it's dogs. Perfect. I had the fish, and then I was like, he's not... The dogs don't fish. There's no way that I can even justify that, so that's why the fish was there briefly. I'm just really excited about this lot. Like, I'm finally going to get a play in it. Hopefully today. And I'll see how it works. But yeah, I think it's great. As an aside, follow-up to the last video, there are decorative Mabari from Dragon Age. For some reason I deleted them, but I've re-downloaded them. So, his goal is going to be to train like war dogs, because he's a follower of Talos. Arndt Blumenthal would be a big fan of that anyways, so that's going to be his goal, but he has to top the show business career in order to kind of do that. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun. I don't know if I'm going to let him sell the decorative dogs, because he's not really a merchant. I don't know what I would require of him to be able to do that. I haven't decided yet. I'm only going to let him sell actual Max's pets that he has trained. Which helps with his lifetime want, because he'll get them to the top of their career and then sell them. Either trained or, I guess, puppies, but I won't let him sell deco dogs. God, I'm trying to think of what he would have to do to be a merchant. I'm putting these ropes by the kennels kind of to simulate leashes, because he wouldn't really have a leash, but you've got to corral him somehow. Yeah, I don't know, because his sister is a noblewoman. His other brother is a knight. I don't know. I also feel like there's another Cormier, because I thought it was 3 boys and the girl, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't know, if you have any suggestions for, like, moving up a class, so to speak, for him becoming a merchant instead of just a free person, which is what he is. He's not a peasant, but he's not, you know, he's not really up there either. But yeah, let me know, because I don't know how I want to do that. I wish this rug was a little bit bigger. Just a tiny bit bigger. It could have filled that upstairs. I always put up so much stuff. Like, I go back to do a voiceover on these videos and I see the piles of items and I'm just like, how does your brain work? Because that is so much stuff. But, like, it doesn't always all end up there. I am an over-decorator, but I do pare it down. See, I'm getting rid of the shears. I got rid of the second little mortar and pestle. I just like options, but I don't like options in the catalog. Made sure to change this so it doesn't say poison, because we don't want to poison the dogs. Can't go wrong with the jug. And just like various bottles. Like I said, this is also kind of where any sort of medicine or things like that are going to be. I thought about putting it upstairs in like the sick room / puppy nursery, but it just made more sense down here, because if he was preparing medicines, he probably would also be preparing other things as well, and then would just carry those upstairs. Also, if you know of any decorative dogs you have not seen featured in this video, you are more than welcome to tell me about them, because I will download them. As long as they don't look like, there's some decorative items that I don't download because they don't look very good. But you never know. I might keep them, because I've got some wonky looking axes, but I still keep them because I want to. But yeah, I'm always on the lookout for new decorative items. Especially with The Sims 2 being as old as it is, it's hard sometimes to find older content that used to exist and that is now not available. That's why I do love Sim File Share, like, so much. I know creators can still delete those, but it's a little bit better. I'm trying to just like, that long hallway, I'm glad that I included it in the previous version of this neighborhood, oh goodness, of this build, the one that I lost. I didn't have like a hallway, so it just went straight into the kennels, and I didn't like that, but at the same time, this is a very narrow hallway. This is very narrow, very narrow. So it's hard to kind of place items, but make sure it's still accessible for the most part. Because these are all deco items, so he's not really going to have to go in the area where all the deco dogs are, but he needs to be able to go on the stairs and needs to be able to access the bird cage, and also needs to be able to access the little womrat cages and the squirrel cage that I put in. Because again, if he's training hunting dogs, they need like the scent. No rabbits were harmed in the making of this kennel, but they're probably going to be harmed as a result. I don't know. Hadrien won't do it. That's all we need to know. That's all we need to know. He trains hunting dogs, but we don't need to speculate what they do. Oh. I really wanted to keep the rope, but it just didn't make sense. This is just me narrowing down what I'm keeping and what is going away. I wanted to keep one of the money pouches really bad. I think I ended up deleting it though. A little bit of pink soup, not a lot, surprisingly. I expected more and a lot like this. It's one downside to me being an extreme over-decorator. Occasionally you have pink soup problems. I don't think I will once I get my new computer set up, but I'm still procrastinating. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna, but I'm just, I don't know. My brain's dumb. So I decided to keep the little salted fish because I figure that's like a good treat option when you're trying to train dogs. So. Kept grabbing the wrong OMSP every single time. I like these, I think they're just like oils, but I like the little bottles of them because they come in different colors. They're actually functional if you want them to be, but they also just look like they could be a lot of things. They could be medicine, they could be oil, they could be hair dye, I mean, they could be whatever you want them to be. And I like that. They're versatile. I gave him a few books, like he probably isn't going to have too many because it's not necessary, but I wanted them to be there, so it was necessary for me. I'm just kind of going through the very last of everything that I had set out. couldn't get the feather to go in an OMSP. It was very sad. I was also getting really, really mad that I couldn't get that off the stupid thing. I'm like, come on! But I wanted it. It was open, and it was important that I had it. Because yes, it's nice when everything's like all closed and neat and pretty, but it's also nice to just give a little bit of liveliness and movement to the scene when stuff's like open or moved or offset. Yeah, now I've just got to place a couple different decorative bits and bobs. Like I said, I wanted to keep a lot of like these like hunting heads and horns and things just to show, because it's a good advertisement for him too. He's like, this is the result of me training a dog very well, as somebody was able to give me this. I also wanted to keep these somewhere, but they just didn't work. Much sad. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this has turned out. Like, it's such a cute lot, and it's so basic, but it pleases me. I was looking for something else to plunk on that shelf. And then, of course, time to recolor the OMSPs. I do miss one. I later go back and find it, but I missed one. Just in case you see the one that I missed. I did miss it. I see it. I'm aware of it. And I just kind of wanted to recolor things a little bit. I'm very pleased with how this turned out. It's something that I wanted to build for a long time now, especially for Hadrien, and it just suits him so well. But we're pretty much done with the video now, so thank you guys so much for joining me. If you like this video, definitely give it a like, and I'll see you in the next one.